This is an introduction to the Convert Fiber Effect Style to Geometry and the Geometry to Fiber Effect Style tool. So we have a sphere here, and there's some fiber effects that we've added onto it. So we'll just enable this here, and you can see right now there's no style, but we also have a style that we had sculpted. And unfortunately right now there's no way to actually bring this style into Modeler and continue in Modeler with other tools, other modeling tools. Because there might be some tools that are better than the Edit Guides tool in here, and you just might want to modify them for any specific reason. And that's where the tools come in. So if we bring this same object in Modeler, you can see there's no weights or anything assigned to it. Also, if we go into the Fiber Effects tool within Modeler, there's no way for you to access any of the guides that that you had created in Layout. Essentially, they don't exist. The two are kind of completely separate. So that's where the first tool comes in. And the nice thing about the tool is, obviously in Layout here, you can see the style is across the entire object. But what we can even do, instead of selecting the entire object, we can also select just portions of the object. So if we just want to bring in the style that attaches to those hairs, we select the points and we go to the first tool, which is the Fiber Effect Style to Geometry tool. Click it. It will give you what the different styles that are available within, and there's only one here. There's a checkbox here that will create weights for you, so you can create a root weight, a tip weight, and then also a weight that goes across the length of a fiber. And those are useful for well, for many different reasons, but also for sculpting within Layout, within Modeler. You can reuse those weight maps at any point in time. So once we do that, you can see immediately as we click OK that you see the fibers were created, and you can now select them. You can see the weights here that have been attached, all the different the length, the root, and the tip. But also, if we go to polygons here, you can see that they have a surface assigned, which is the name of the style plus the postfix style. We can select all of those, copy them into a different layer, and go to the first layer, for example. We can, of course, modify them in any way we choose at this point in time, or we can also just go back and select the first layer with the other layer in the second layer and go to the Fiber Effects tool within here. And now when we go to guides, you can see that we can use the layer 2 guides, and here are the guides that we can now modify it at any point in time. So this goes a step further though. Let's say we modified them, whether we do it with Fiber Effects or any sort of other tool. If we want to bake them back into a style, we would just put them into the background, and we select the points that we would like to transfer into the style. We don't have to use them all. So let's just say we just want to use the very top tip here of the points, and we can go to the second tool, which is the Geometry to Fiber Effect style. Once we click that, it'll ask us, how many strands, how many points are there per strand. We know it's 5 or 6 because that's, it was 5 edges. That's how we set it up. So there's 6 points, and let's just call it a new style here from Modeler, and we click OK. And we can now, we actually don't need the second layer at all anymore, so we can just delete that and save the object. We'll save it as brand new hair. And we go into Layout here, and let's just clear the scene so that you get the idea of how to set it up from scratch. So here's our brand new hair object. And if we again attach Fiber Effects to it, you can see there's no style. That's the original that came in. And of course we have the original style in here, which would be the Oliver test. But we also have our new style here, which is new style from Modeler, and that only has hair wherever the export was that we did. So this is a nice way to, and this will now of course work with morphs, anything else that there's nothing extra like transferring maps that you would have to do. It'll just continue to work as if it was a regular style. If you think, or if you see these dots down here, that's because they're basically zero-length fibers which don't render. So the style itself will only render wherever these guides are that were exported from geometry back into the style. So again, a very nice way to get things kind of in sync between Modeler and Layout with the styles that are available, or the whole style idea within Fiber Effects. And that's it for that.